to be here. I love coming to Malaysia. I've been here many times and I spent a lot of time in Sabah. So being here today is a great treat for me. So as Tamil mentioned, we are partnering with this company here to deliver degrees, courses online from Australia, from the University of New England. So I'll just get to the, so UNE is a very old university. You'd be familiar with perhaps the United States system of land grant universities, the really old ones. They were set up by a benefactor who gave the land, that sort of thing. That's exactly what UNE is. We're a very long established university, established first in 1938 as part of the University of Sydney. We were so successful that we cut our ties, and in 1954 we became our own independent university. And what we do is distance education as well as on-campus tuition. So we do both, and we're the oldest provider of distance education, which 20, 30 years ago, of course, was not online. It was by the post and books and CDs. And these days, of course, everything is online. Can I just get to the next slide?
Yeah.
Thanks. I've left my advance at home. Okay, so the Australian system has a way of evaluating quality. And actually, I should have changed this. For the last 12 years, we've been evaluated as having the maximum 5-star rating for student satisfaction. And so what that means is at the end of the course, we ask our students what they made of the course, they give us a ranking, and it's also to do with graduate satisfaction and how easy it is to get a job. We have many students that have studied with us from Malaysia. Just in the KL area, just around this district, there's 70 alumni, which we are hoping to have some alumni events with our former students here in this campus. That'll be an opportunity for you to meet them, because these are your networks into business, into industry. We also have a campus in Sydney at Parramatta, and that's a place where we're increasingly offering our courses. So you can check us out, have a look at the Good Universities Guide for last year. It's produced at the end of each year, so the 2018 one will be out in December. Have a look at what we do. Can I go to the next one, please? Okay, there are lots of ways universities are ranked, but the Student Barometer, the International Student Barometer, is a scheme in which our international students come back in after they've got their degree, and they say, what's the university like? And our university was ranked first in learning in Australia. And the secret behind this is our staff are very, very dedicated, and like myself, we stay at that campus for many years. I've worked at UNE for 25 years, and that's not unusual. The campus is beautiful, it's a great place to live, and staff really get into working with their students on Moodle, for example, to provide them with opportunities for learning. We have, in my faculty, which is the Faculty of Science, Agriculture, Business and Law, we have great strengths in agriculture, business, and in an adjacent faculty, health and medicine, we also do nursing. And we offer very unique courses that seem to be working in the industry to get people jobs. So I'll just tap this to a Okay, so in the School of Business, which I'm the head of at the moment, we have 3 core areas for which we offer courses: accounting and finance, marketing and management, economics, and agribusiness. And one of the courses we offer is the Bachelor of Business, and preceding that, the Diploma in Business that articulates through. Our vision is that we'll actively create opportunities and partnerships to increase our graduates' readiness to meet the changing needs of a regional and global business. And you're all examples of that, because you're working during the week and then you come here on the weekend to study. And I think that's fantastic that we do that now. So 30 years ago we just didn't do that, did we? It's just more like school. turn up at 9 o'clock and go leave uni at 5 o'clock. It's changed now. We all need to work. I've got daughters that have to work as they're studying, and that's really important, and that's why distance education has to be flexible. We know that you want to look at your learning management system, Moodle, at 11 o'clock at night. And we know that because we see the logging of when our students are using the sites, and it's all hours. Our staff are also on there at all hours to answer your questions and to get you back on track with any queries. So we have, for this reason, we have dedicated course coordinators that look after particular areas. So Dr. Sajana Dakar, she actually graduated from a university in Malaysia. She's our course coordinator for the business degrees. Omar looks after accounting and finance, and Sean looks after economics and agribusiness degrees. And in that way, we can tailor our courses exactly to what the student is looking for, against course rules and so forth. Here's Omar. He looks after not only the bachelor degree, but a number of postgraduate areas. Sajana, who I work very closely with and will be working very closely with this partnership here. Diploma in business, bachelor in business, and so forth, and a raft of postgraduate awards as well. And Sean, looking after economics and agribusiness, he's always available to help students work out what courses they should be doing. You're all familiar with Moodle? You use Moodle for your studies? Yeah, so do we. When we showed Moodle to Tamal and his staff middle of the year, they were very impressed with what we do on our Moodle site. And I am too. I'm very proud of what my staff have done with their learning environment. So not only do we have our staff who are very good at using Moodle, but we have educational developers who sit behind the scenes and who set up the complete Moodle site and put in new advances. They develop apps that you can use to help you keep on track and so forth. So I'm really pleased with the way that's going. You know, university is not just about studying, although you probably think, well, it is actually, that's all they seem to do. But it's more about making a network, you know, making friends for the future. These will be your future business partners and friends. And so we recognise that. We have quite a few ways in which our students can engage in the broader community of industry and with partnerships. That we have very active Facebook, Twitter and so forth, but also we have chat discussions on Moodle. There's always opportunities coming through on our blogs about activities. And I'm really excited that some of our students will hopefully be coming over here to work with students in our programs through this partnership and UNE. Our students, we have a mandate to get them travelling and get them overseas. So once you're part of the UNE system, we'll be showing you opportunities where you can study elsewhere, China, South America, Africa, and Bhutan. We also go there. And so keeping ahead of things on our blogs and on our social media is a way that we get that information out, because most of our students at UNE are not on campus. We have 20,000 or so students, and I would say probably 80% of those are around the world and around Australia. In the outback, studying online. In Brazil, I have a student in Brazil studying online. So it's not difficult. You know, the world's become smaller, hasn't it, through the internet and through our resources. Okay, so here, for example, we've got a group going to China, undergraduate and postgraduate study tours. It's really, really important. If you're studying in business or international programs, that you actually walk the talk. You get out and you look at what's happening in other countries. This is where the business opportunities are going to lie, are in our nearest neighbours, and to Malaysia and Australia, and the developments that they need in small business, for example. We've just had a group come back from South America, where our students went over and won the competition as being the best small business proposal to an international panel of judges. The other thing we have is an incubator. Who's heard of what an incubator is? It's basically a framework for startups. You all know what a startup is? It's a company with a germ of an idea that needs funding. So we have a regional incubator that allows our students to work with industry to see how to go about setting up a startup company, right? How to get that venture capital money into your business. You've probably all got ideas about things you want to do, but you need someone to be that bagel fish, be that helper of connecting you to industry and into funding revenues. This is what incubators do. And we have one of the biggest ones in New South Wales. The Sydney School of Entrepreneurship, we're a big part of this. Our students go down to Sydney to be part of opportunities working with industry and government and so forth. We'd like to bring that flavour of what we do to students through this campus. I know Australia is 8 hours away, but the internet makes it a much smaller distance. So, to get good teachers, you need to have good researchers, and this is what differentiates UNE away from many of the other partners that are operating. We recognised as being leaders in research in a number of key areas, and that means that our teachers have the latest stuff to talk with their students about. Our centres are, in particular in business school, agribusiness, local government, and you might be thinking, well, how is local government relevant to me living in KL? Malaysia and Australia are derived from the Commonwealth systems, aren't we? We've got a common law system, which means that we have local governments, state governments, and more regional governments. This is where you get things done. If you want to set up a business in a local area, you need to know how to talk with the local authorities. I can see some people nodding their heads around the room. We all know that bureaucracy is there, but we have to learn skills of how to work with people to get our ideas established. That's what the Centre for Local Government's about. This one has an Australian flavour, but we're the same law system, Commonwealth law system. There's much to learn here. And then UNE Enactus. This is something which is outside the curriculum, outside the formal learning. This is about social networking and groups where industry comes and works with our students in an informal setting, social settings, to make those connections. You know, you might think, well, you know, what are they interested in me for? I'm just a student. They see that you are the future of new endeavours, of new ideas, so they actually want to meet you. And that's what this is about. And this is something which we've got happening throughout UNE and other parts of Australia. And there's no reason we can't do that here. Some housekeeping. As you probably worked out, most universities have their own terminology on things. When you're studying for a subject, at UNE we call that a unit. So if you're doing microeconomics, that is a unit, microeconomics. That's worth 6 credit points in our system. So a diploma is 8 units of study, a bachelor is 24 units of study, and advanced standing is a term which we are very familiar with. It's where we recognise prior learning, and that can be through work experience, but it also will be if you've studied at another recognised institution. And all universities have their own rules about this, and if we go down this pathway, this is where we work with our course coordinators to help our students get into the best degree for them. Okay, and this is our beautiful campus. As you can see, it's a regional setting, which is great. This doesn't hold us back. You know, we have farms where our scientists work in the science area. The UNE Business School is just here, so I have an office in there, and our colleges where our students live, here and further down the road here. So it's a very free and easy lifestyle, and we would be encouraging our students to come and visit us here. But of course, as I said, most of our students are off campus and they come here for graduation, which is just the most fantastic event that we run twice a year. So it's an exciting opportunity to be involved with one of Australia's oldest universities with a very steady and fantastic reputation. I think that's all I've got to say. Any questions?
Okay, can I have a question as a student?
Yes, you may have a question.
Because
Have you done your assignments? Are they
yeah,
next?
I have done all my study. They just want to know, because we always tell about online, am I right? But there's a phobia in Malaysia that they think that when it's online, it's bogus or unrecognized universities, because there was a very bad history in Malaysia. But what we have to tell them, the award you're getting will not mention it's online, alright? So you must understand the method of delivery have changed over a period of time. You know the method of delivery? Though this the traditional method face to face. Can you understand that?
Yes.
Then we started online our team started online in year 2006. Totally online, alright? But it failed in Malaysia and some other countries because the system is not so advanced. You understand? But when you look at UNE, yesterday I saw the lectures are all recorded. So in future, the lecturer teaching UNE here, local lecturers will have more time on tutorial, alright? On tutorial case studies and all that, the application part of it. You watch the video as the schedule at home. Are you clear? Yes. I know most of you travel all over Malaysia to come here for Saturday, Sunday classes. Some come from Perak, 2 hours, 3 hours away. So this is a better method, because every time you come, I always tell my former students, every time they come, I'm worried because they travel very far every day, rush and all that. Are you okay? So we will do more of tutorial and all that. The lectures are there. And again, we are calling that as blended. It's not totally online. That means you still got support. Are you clear? Yes. But we guarantee you that the degree will not mention online degree. Can you understand that? Because some universities now, when it's they get confused. Actually, it's method of delivery. It's not an online university. Can you understand that one? Yes. Are you okay? Because I had someone ask me yesterday, oh, is it online degree? No. It is a traditional degree. Alright? So it is as good as any Australian degree. Alright? The method of delivery is slightly different.
That's a good point. So the thing is, the Australian government has fully recognised all of our degrees at UNE for many, many, many years. But the vision of our Vice-Chancellor is that distance should not be a barrier for education. And you know how big Australia is. So we have students in the outback, we have students living on islands and so forth that can't get to campus. Maybe they come a couple of times a year. So that's why we were the leaders in developing distance education, which long before the internet happened, involved this blended learning. So that's the case. So yeah, I don't think there's any Australian university that has credential problems in that area, actually. But UNE happens to be the very best at that. So yes, I do understand that other parts of the world that's been an issue, but certainly not for Australia. We don't treat the students that are on campus any differently from those students that are online. That's the thing to remember. We aren't allowed to. It's our vision to make it the same educational experience. That's why we've put so much money and investment into ed developers, into IT experts, into Moodle, to make sure that all of our courses can be looked at online. Now, there's some things that we can't do that way. For example, surgery 101 in the medical degree. None of us want to have a surgeon who's only learnt how to do stitches online. They've got to come on campus. But for the majority of stuff that we do, the blended learning works really, really well. Because what we find, after my 25 years of teaching at this university, is our off-campus students are actually better students than our students on campus. And that's because you know the imperative of working and having to hold down a job. And this is a very valuable time for you on the weekends to do this work. It's your time, and we understand that. And that's why our tutors are available online as well. So what we think will work here is that the teaching staff on this campus, they will be able to spend much more time with you going over the expectations for the week against all of the material online. So the lectures are delivered as podcasts, and many of our students in Australia, they stick them on their iPhone and put the speaker on and listen to that while they're driving to work. They, stuck in traffic, they're still learning. So this allows people to learn at their own pace and when they want. And a lot of students want to get ahead. They want to they've listened to the material in week 1, they now want to go to week 2. They don't want to wait for that lecture to happen. So that's all sitting there and you're able to get ahead to listen. That's the beauty of it. And as Tamil said, we probably don't mention that we have that online stuff in our brochures because we're not allowed to differentiate between online and on campus. It's exactly the same degree. We don't have degrees that are only for a certain type of student. That anyone can do our courses online or on campus. Okay? Right. And if there's any questions, I can always be contacted, or any of my course coordinators can be contacted. And I'll be here quite frequently throughout the years to meet with students and to answer questions. And our teaching staff, we're hoping that they'll be coming over and working with the teaching staff here assigned to the units of study to have that broader discussion about the subject. And I'm hoping that UNE students from other parts of the world will come here as well to share in those intensive learning opportunities.
Tony, any questions?
No.
Tony is the one